All right, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed your little break from the action. I know I didn't. I had an itch for D&D, and I could not scratch it. So, really quickly, I noticed we just got notifications from four gatherers. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Uh, Really quick announcement. Cardin and Asta are joining us. They're running a little late tonight. Not a big deal. People are gonna look inside of a library. They're not the readers of the group. There is a link. There is a link right now in chat posted by Romulus. Thank you for our Discord. And I am posting now a link to our podcast. You can find that through this link. You can also find it on Spotify and some other. Well, check out your favorite podcasting network. It might be there. If you don't have time to catch live streams, or or if that's just your preferred way of listening. We are trying to get back into the habit of that. And just so, people are aware, yes, this is episode 58. So in order to not flood you guys with 58 episodes of podcasts, I am releasing about 3 a week. I've been doing this over the last 3 weeks now, so there are currently 9 episodes up, which is a very bite-sized grouping of episodes. And
you mean gigabyte sized?
No, I do not.
Oh, come on, why not?
Because none of the audio files are that large.
I meant combined.
With all 9 of them, they might be a gigabyte. Might. That's a big.
There you go. So it ain't bite sized; it's gigabyte sized.
I can tell you if they are or not. Hold on.
Just laugh. It's a good joke.
I beg to differ.
That's what I was laughing at.
No, actually, all of these are less than a megabyte. So.
Okay, then only about.
I guess there are a couple. I guess there are
1,015 to go.
Anyway.
All right, you just want to be right, so whatever.
Yes, but that is neither the case here nor there. My question.
But hey, we're actually getting official here.
Yeah, so we're trying. We appreciate your guys' support. My question now to the group that is currently here is: does anybody need inspiration for this week for the recap? I do not recall.
Don't need it.
Helps if I push the right button. I don't have inspiration, so I guess I can do the recap.
You do not have it?
Nope, no inspiration. The box isn't lit up.
Alrighty, well then you can do the recap. Take it away. Tell us what you guys did last week.
Oh man, we did a lot last week. So beyond Katya having to share his secrets with the group about his patron and hoping no backlash, he also described what his patron looked like and the terms of their agreement. The party was heading to the Lake of the Aboleths because we wanted to go look and see if we can find them, so we can ask about pre-rise magic. It's something that can help Dinok's wife. So with the help of some water breathing, we are now underwater. We've been underwater for a little while. We made it. We were intercepted by an Aboleth. Roughed him up some, and he led us to his leader, Rumkar, however you pronounce that.
Let me pull up the note I have for that, and I'll tell you right whenever I find it.
You are correct.
Okay. That would be the Aboleth leader. Apparently, they live in an underwater city. Don't know much about the city. We just know it's underwater. And nice little tidbit of information here. There is a statue in the city square that depicts a woman with flowing hair that looks almost like tentacles and gills. And Denoch believes it may have been a resemblance of the Kraken, right? Oh no, sorry, the Leviathan. The Leviathan taking
Technically,
on a human
yes, Kraken. He's using the two interchangeably.
Oh, they're the same thing? I didn't know that.
So, depending on what lore you're going with, they can be two different entities. Because of the world that I have created, they are one and the same.
Fair. So then we went to speak with Rumkar himself, and found out that Torben actually came to him before us as a representative of the Sleeping King. He wants to spread the curse of vampirism once again. Now we wanted to ask for more information on or war magics, etc., etc. But in exchange for that information, Rumkar told us that we have to go find one of his kin that was excommunicated because they had fallen ill to madness. See if we could figure out what it is and cure it one way or another. So we ended up in an underwater library, long abandoned. A lot of the books have been damaged. And we were attacked by this Aboleth, which we have also slain. And I believe where we're left off, DM described that at one point Katya was actually under control by the Aboleth. And when he was thinking about it, the sensation I got was that I found myself standing in a void, being chased by some kind of a red star. And now we're searching the library to see what we can find.
Thank you. Going to your point of inspiration, I will make one really quick clarification point on what I heard you say. That is, Torben has not been to the Aboleths wanting to spread vampirism. No. The Aboleths were referring to the Sleeping King. The Sleeping King, the Aboleth, the particular one that you spoke to, remembered the Sleeping King in his original attempt to spread vampirism throughout the world, which would have been pre-Rise.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it was barely a detail because it could have gone either way, honestly, but just so that my lore and stuff is straight and you guys don't get confused later down the road when it actually becomes a thing. So, alrighty. And
that's okay. Today, before I go, hang on.
Got it.
I might have to change my push to talk button because I was on my document deleting text while holding down my push to talk button.
Oh!
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. I'm going to have to choose another key yet again.
Funny.
So I'm going to go correct all that. But
yeah, do like the down arrow.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. My arrow keys are a bit finicky though, but I'll figure it out. But in other information, speaking of getting lore correct, I realized today that the first time I heard the name Jor Tom, or whatever his name was, apparently I wrote down George Tame, and that's why in a later session I had no idea who the hell Jor was.
That's funny.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I was like, wait, who's Jor? All right, let me make my fixes here.
So, With that, nobody is most people are no longer mind controlled. Needed to
Most.
make it that you're aware of. I mean, to be fair, none of you guys are aware that Katya was even mind controlled to begin with. He never attacked any of you guys. I don't know if I still have that or not, so we're gonna not worry about it because technically, I guess that would go away when the creature died anyway. So you guys are exposed to this underwater library with these bones of both humanoid and fishtoids and fish float, kind of settling on the bottom of this uh, small library. The books that are exposed to the water are become very waterlogged for the most well are very waterlogged, and most of them are all but ruined. And I will say, you guys looked, and at this door over here, before you guys engaged in combat, this door here was locked. It was the only one that was locked, as the other walls have been slightly caved in, as you can see here and here. So, and with that, I turn it over to you guys. What would you like to do?
I would like to change my keybind again.
You do
What'd you do
you.
this time?
I realize the arrow keys is going to be a problem as well. I just can't win. I use most of the keys on this keyboard.
What about numlock?
You could just do what I'm having to do because I'm back to my little laptop right now, and I have just the voice activity, and I'm just muting myself when I'm not talking.
That's a lot of work. Maybe I'll just use the right alt key. I never use that.
It's really not that much work, but okay.
Whatever works for you guys.
Anyways, Deanock's going to swim over to the locked door and try to see if he can throw a mage hand on the other side of the door to where he thinks the handle would be. And is it a lever or is it a knob, or what kind of door is it?
Point you can choose within range. Point.
Mhm.
That is interesting.
Yeah, from what I see from this description, I just choose it. I don't have to see.
Yeah. I will say you can cast it on to the other side, and what I'm gonna have you do is I'm gonna have you make a investigation check for your mage hand. So
Okay.
roll
Straight or
I would say just roll a d20 because it's an inanimate object, but technically, but it's your magic. So I'm gonna just give it like a flat kind of a bonus.
not very
here,
good.
which is being very generous.
I roll a 3 to get an 8.
Well, either way, you can feel the mage hand on the other side fumbling around with the door and trying to figure out where the locking mechanism and stuff is, but it's just not quite working for you. You're struggling to get it to unlock.
Mm-hmm. I figured. But hey, doesn't hurt to try.
Does not.
Hey, how about if we just blast it and see if we could just break it open?
I'd rather not. What if it's warded? Well, I mean...
We could always have Valinar dispel magic on it.
Before I dispel magic, can we determine if the door is magic first?
I suppose
Yeah,
I could
that's
help
what I
out
was
with
about
that.
to ask. Can I feel magic from it?
Make an Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have it prepared.
Wow, my dice are not wanting to cooperate tonight. That is a 5 for a 14.
I mean, it's still a pretty good number.
I mean, yeah, that is my...
Mhm. You do not sense any magic coming from the door.
So I'm going to actually ask Cardin if he can try and force the door open.
1 second here. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, sure. He would. I'm sure Cardin would be more than happy to attempt to do that. He'll simply go, move, and push you out of the way, and then he'll try to, I guess, kick the door down with a athletics check. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. He moves you. He comes barreling, and ka-funk. The door is broken open, and as it kind of scatters into the room on the other side, you guys watch as it clatters to the ground. This sound kind of impacting stone. And you guys look through the door, and you can see this shimmering. I don't want to say shimmering. Have you ever looked at like the top of a fish tank and how the water's kind of moving a little bit at times? Not a whole lot, but it's just moving slightly, like on the surface of the water
Rippling?
there. Yeah.
So like
I was gonna
lights
say
shining
rippling,
through?
yeah.
Yeah, that is what is happening in the doorway of this room.
Hey, Cardin, you got a 21 on an athletics to open a door. For everyone who doesn't know, Cardin just joined us in the chat.
Yeah.
Where's my fucking headphones?
Anyway,
Wow.
but yeah, that is what you guys see
Alright,
immediately.
D-Knock is going to step through.
Cardin will step aside. So as you step through, you can feel yourself kind of like stepping through this water into a dry pocket of air. You step through, and a lot of the water that is soaked into your clothes does kind of pull out. They are still wet, and kind of clinging to your arms like loose material does, but it is not as heavy as.
I'm not soaking. I'm wet, but not soaking.
Correct. And you emerge into a fairly reasonable sized room. It looks like it was a small personal study once upon a time.
What does it look like for those of us standing outside?
It looks like D-Knock stepped through water and into a dry pocket of air.
It looks like
so
I walked through a bubble.
I mean, it's not like it's a barrier, like a barrier or anything. If anybody who crosses through the threshold of the doorway would also experience this effect.
But I guess maybe what I'm trying to ask is, from where we're standing, can we tell that he just walked out of the water into a dry area?
Sort of, because the image of himself would become distorted a little bit. Just like if you're looking.
Fair.
Yeah, just like if you were if you're in a swimming pool and you're looking through the water at somebody on the surface, you can still see
so you
them.
would see me kind of land on the ground, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm like floating near the top of the doorway and I go through, I will go to the ground.
I mean, it's not like a massive door, but yeah.
I'm just looking at like the door to my bedroom. If I'm swimming about that tall.
Oh, I see.
I'd say I'm like
you're
5
more
inches
of a horizontal rather than vertical. Gotcha. Okay.
So I thought.
Either way,
I
He's
thought
now
that you
standing.
couldn't detect any. I thought you couldn't detect any magic over by that door. That looks magic to me.
Either I'm just not. I honestly have no idea. This does seem magical, but like you said, I didn't feel anything unless.
And the door is splintered at your feet.
So what do you see?
Yeah, I'll investigate the room. We'll come back to that barrier in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Alright, that's a lot better. 21.
21.
21?
And remind me, I believe last time Katya found a book.
It was Carton.
Was it Carden? Somebody found a book in the main portion of the library.
Carden found the book.
Carden did. Okay. Because it was a semi-magical book that was, not affected by the water. Okay. So there are a few things that you managed to find in this room with a 21. You do find what appears to be a small purse of coins that amount to about 70 gold pieces.
Alright, let me pull up. I'll put them in the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's a dry area.
Okay.
You said
also
70?
Yes, 70 gold pieces. You also find it's not necessarily a book, as more of it is a scroll with a collection of like papers kind of stuffed into it and all rolled up, and the binding around the scroll itself it reads. Actually, it would be written in a language you may not you recognize. What languages do you speak?
Common, Celestial, Draconic, and Infernal.
You actually can read it. Hold on one second. I want to find my my. Just realized that there is no background noise. Much better.
Whoa.
You can read it, and you do recognize the writing as written in. It is written in Infernal, and the name around this banner or this strap, I guess, is it just reads the originals.
The originals?
Mm-hmm.
The originals.
You don't know. I didn't say.
Okay, sorry.
Yep. So that you find that,
Original.
and then you find a almost like a pearl. It was kind of underneath the desk, like it'd been dropped and kicked to the back of the corner of the room. And it is probably about the size of a softball, and it is shining unbelievably so. Like, even in the dim light down here in this underwater area, this pearl is shining incredibly bright.
Well, I'm not going to waste any time. This seems weird, so I'm immediately going to cast Identify.
Okay.
That works.
You cast Identify.
Not even going to ritual cast. I'm just
on the pearl itself, right? This large pearl.
Yeah, because Deanoch. Actually, this is Romulus, so I'm gonna go with Deanoch's gonna just roll straight int to get the idea of what this is.
Don't bother. Because you wouldn't know.
Well, basically, like, would he get the idea? Hey,
I mean,
Romulus. This may.
if you want to cast, if you think Denock would cast Identify on this object that is shining brighter than technically possible underwater,
Hey, yeah.
then so
We'll not overcomplicate it, I guess.
yeah, it's fine. Hold on 1 second here.
Because just what I was thinking was, Denock may not be as uber suspicious of this as Romulus gets.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I kind of get that, but at the same time,
Torben is going to go up and touch the pearl.
I'm holding it. I'm.
So what you identify, actually, you know what? Because I want to do this more of a, I want to kind of do this more of a, just you knowing it.
Ooh.
I'm gonna send it to you, privately. Alright, I sent it to you over Discord in a private message, so.
That means it's really special.
It's just a really cool
We got
item.
secrets.
But that is that is the information you receive from the Identify spell.
Shit.
Give him a minute, guys. I broke him. It's okay.
Again, I ask Denock, what is it you have found in there? Do you wish to share with the rest of us?
Denock just is kind of like looking at the pearl.
Like a fat kid looks at
And you
cake.
can just yeah, basically, like you can just see his internal thought process just like click, 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 click. A gear has skipped in place, and he's just trying to make sense of what he's holding.
If you don't hurry it up, I'm gonna come in there after you.
He shakes his head real quick, like and is just like, I think we found I think it's called a boon of knowledge. From what my Identify is telling me, once a week we can ask a question about someone or something that we know and get an answer. I don't know of any limitation other than, we know the person or we know the thing. Like, say, if I asked about one of you, it would answer that question, I think.
So it doesn't have to be yes or no questions like an 8-ball.
As far as I can tell, no.
So magic pearl that can give us knowledge on the unknown. Ah, too bad it's once a week. I've got a lot of questions for it.
Well, I think first off we should ask,
What Torben's planning?
or, his
What are
weaknesses.
my parents doing?
Good point.
Starting
But-
out directly.
But what if the pearl...
Carden, you are very
Doesn't-
quiet, buddy.
Yeah.
What if the pearl doesn't have an answer for you, though?
I don't know. This is...
To the DM, I like your idea of the pearls of wisdom.
What? I'm confused.
You know how when somebody gives you advice, they call it a pearl of wisdom?
I have never heard that before in my life.
No? You never
So
heard of pearls
asked-
of wisdom?
No, we
I
were
don't know
always
that
told
either.
we were always told don't take any wooden nickels.
I've never heard that one before, but
I have to.
I haven't either.
when,
always-
I
somebody,
hear a lot of phrases, so...
when somebody gives you their 2 cents, you're like, any other pearls of wisdom for me?
Nope.
While everybody is asking around, like, what to ask this thing. Cardiff asked it how his tribe is doing.
So you go up and you put your hand on it and ask the question.
Okay, if
Yeah.
Carden comes close and tries to touch it,
Yeah. That is one
Enoch is
caveat.
going-
You do have to be in physical contact with the pearl in order to ask it a question.
Enoch is
Would
going
you allow a combo sleight of hand stealth?
Look, I'm looking at you guys through the doorway, holding it in my hand. If you can stealth, if Big Burly Carden can stealth in front of me,
I'll tell you what.
Well, no,
Carden,
until you try.
I will say, Carden, make a stealth check with disadvantage, because Enoch is in somewhat of a conversation. We'll use his passive, which I believe is like 11, 12?
yeah, 11.
Okay. Hey, Crazy, can you roll for me?
What?
Yeah, I got it.
He needs you to roll for him.
Crazy.
That would explain why
Crazy,
he
you can
sounds
roll
like
for me.
1,000 miles away. He's not there yet.
He's driving.
Yeah, okay. Da-da-da-da. Did it roll? Oh, there it goes.
It did now.
No. Wait, I clicked on slide.
You got a 7.
It's fine.
Oof.
You rolled a
You
7.
weren't stealthy
It does
enough.
not happen.
Ah,
Enoch sees you coming and is just like, no, no, no.
So, besides that, what else have you found?
Got a bunch of papers with something written in Infernal. Something about original something or other. Hold on. Direct translation is, I think, the original. No, that's an S. Original.
The originals?
Yeah, sorry. Infernal's hard to translate sometimes.
I wonder.
Sounds like the name for a bad TV show.
Or a boy band.
If I recall correctly, when I had my blood tested by these sorcerers back on Isserus, they said that I was of a bloodline of the originals. Do you mind if I take a look at that scroll?
Hold on just a second. I checked to see if it's magical.
Through what means?
To see, like, is there...
I'm gonna go step into the room.
Yeah, I'll step back here. Let you come in.
Okay.
And I'm
As a
going-
side note, while all this is going on, Valnar's going around the room looking at all the desks and stuff.
Okay. I will say, let me double check my notes, because you guys have already found the war diary. There is nothing else really of value in the rest of the library.
Okay.
But
Well, I
you
mean,
know,
for most people. Enoch
Well-
has...
a lot of the books are waterlogged and ruined and stuff like that. But
Oh, I'm not talking
perhaps...
about books.
Right. Okay. So you kind of go through. You kind of open the scroll and you begin looking through it. Katya.
Before anyone
I'll
opens
try.
it, I check to see if the thing is magical. Like, if it's
Make an
sealed
Arcana
or if there's...
check.
Yeah.
There does not appear to be with a 20. There does not appear to be any arcane runes on the outside of the scroll that you can see.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure. If something was written in Infernal, there is no way in hell I'm going to just open it willy-nilly without checking for traps first.
Understandable. To the DM,
Mhm.
this is my last day of my ability to understand all languages. Does that mean that I can read this?
So what is the exact terminology. Is it understand?
It said understand.
Let me check. I just want to make sure I don't have it written down as like a spoken language or something like this. Do you happen to know what number it was off the top of your head?
When I find it, I'll let you know. Hang on. I seem to have misplaced it. It's not even in my recent files, which is funny because you'd think I would have used that recent. Oh, there it is. Found my document.
Well, I mean, we haven't played for, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
$89 or $90.
Oh, it is you comprehend all languages. As in the comprehend language spell. So yes, you can read it. As the entire document is written in Infernal.
Well, that sure makes this easy.
Yeah.
By the way, if you read it, I'm reading over your shoulder, too.
All right, well, you are the one who found it, so I'm going to take that and let me see what it says.
So, this appears to be a document of different theory points and tracking things down and grabbing of different information in the world and creating the theory, in a sense. From what you can tell, this is all a theory by some individual of where the origin of wild magic came from. And effectively what you learn through reading this document and taking a bit of time here, because there are a lot of different papers and it's a scroll and kind of things, just kind of with a bunch of different scribblings on it. And basically what you learn is that wild magic was introduced into the world through a pact between a very powerful elven wizard and one of the demon generals of the Abyss.
Does
Does
it say what name?
It does not mention the general's name. However, later in the documents, you do find that the elven name listed is Ravarora.
Please spell that out in the chat.
I'm putting it in
because that's going to be
now.
important. This is actually the second time I'm hearing about this origin of wild magic.
Ravarora. I
I
put it in the Discord chat. Ravarora.
I can't remember I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but because I have asked around quite a bit about wild magic and my bloodline, and I believe someone explained to me that pretty much the information that's written here in this scroll, that there was an elven wizard who made a pact with. They did not specify what kind of pact, mind you, but that there was a pact formed with a powerful elven wizard to create wild magic. This scroll here, theoretical that it may be, is in line with what I've already learned, which means there may be more truth to this.
So, continuing through the document, it mentions that these two entities eventually brought forth a child into this room, or into this world.
Into this room? Oh my.
Sorry.
Well, that's
the child was born with his mother's affinity for magic and his father's natural magical powers, being a demon general of the Abyss, overflowing with magical energy. However, an elven wizard has a very high affinity for magic. And that's simply due to the fact that they have a very long lifespan, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Due to the consequences of this individual, I guess, there's a lot of eyes drawn to them. They believe that this individual was later named the Red Scare, the Crimson Scar, whatever you know, etc. There was a lot of different names for him that, you know, that would leave a red trail behind him. The offspring or later creations of this entity would later be referred to as an original or the originals. So effectively, as an original, you are somehow related through bloodline to the Red Scare, the Crimson Scar, whatever you want to go by the name here of. And at the very end of the document, like as you get to the very end of all of this, there's a singular name, and it is circled and has like 1,000 question marks beside it, and it is listed as the name Tenoror. And again,
Tenoror?
Yeah, again, I'll put this in the Discord for you.
Like Tenebrous, but with a roar at the end?
It is in the Discord for you. And that is pretty much the information that you would gain by reading over this document. And it does take some time to read through the document, having to translate, you know, through magical means, and sometimes having Denoc help you find the meaning of particular words and stuff like that. But eventually that is the information that you glean from reading this document.
Well, that's certainly a lot to take in.
I've been rolling through this document at every location of particular knowledge that you guys have visited, and this is the first time I've rolled well enough for it to be discovered.
Oh, jeez.
What a weird place.
This is a ancient library, so it made sense too.
So it basically builds off of the knowledge that I've already been given and grants a little more detail. But if I have a pact with the Red Scare or someone of that bloodline, that means my pact is with an ancestor of mine.
Uncle Grandpa. What? No.
Now,
I mean, this part's also interesting. The fact that the other person was a demon.
Yeah, but that also means that I am of demonic bloodline in a way.
Well, you sure don't look like any tiefling I've seen.
Well, no. But I don't even know what to say about that. If the first creature that I spoke to when looking to find a pact was the Red Scare himself, and this would be the one that his father was the one I spoke to next, whom I made the pact with. If I did come in contact with the Red Scare, that means I just made a pact with Ravavora. But that's all speculation because I don't know for sure.
Or you made a pact with Tenoror. Because from all what I'm seeing here, I'm not seeing any gender specifications on any names.
True.
I'm not seeing that the elf is male or female. Meaning,
it could be kind of determined by the wording after that. The translation's a bit rough, but Um,
I will
I will-
clarify for you guys. Ravavora is the name of the elf.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we know who they're referring to, but we don't know. What we're saying is we don't know which one is male or female.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ravavora could go either way.
So can Tenor.
So can Cadia.
Hey, you're not wrong.
I was gonna say, he's not wrong. He's out of line, but he's not wrong.
It says that, I mean, the document says that the mother had an affinity for magic, and the father had the power. But being that the individual was a powerful elven wizard, since elves have an affinity for magic, and this wizard also had power, it is hard to tell if Ravavora is the male or female.
Also, we don't actually know how much magical power a demon would have, but we know that they would be powerful.
Right.
Whether that's just physical aspect or magical aspect, we don't know yet.
I guess.
Well,
I mean, once we next
guys,
week,
your
you can
guys'
ask the Pope.
history. Well, your guys' history literally forced your guys' countries, in effect, to flee from the demons.
Yeah. About all I can do at this point is hold on to the document for further study, because this is just a quick reading. We'll have to look at it more in depth at another time when we're not currently underwater. And
On a time limit.
right. And I may see if I can get more information from my patron. He should know more.
I want to say be careful on that one.
Oh, believe me, I've been as careful as I can, any way to avoid harming you guys in the few things I've been asked to do for him. Pretty much all he's asked me to do at this point that it wasn't even a problem was he wanted me to try and acquire Heaven's Wrath, and he was awfully generous considering my failure at that.
As much as I hate to say this, the next time you do come in contact with them, you may want to ask for a name drop, I guess.
Yes, I'll mention what I've seen in this document and see if I can't get some more clarification, because I would like to know as well.
Best case scenario, this father is Ravavora, not Tenor.
And in that case, still, Ravavora was the one who made the deal with the devil.
Yeah, but a whole lot better to deal with demon worshiper than an actual demon, I'll say.
Yes, if I find out that I actually made a pact with Tenor, then I don't know what we would do, but it probably won't end well.
Yeah.
It's moments like this that I really wish we were using webcams so you guys can just see the grin on my face.
The shit-eating grin.
And the look of concern on mine.
Oh, I love this stuff. This stuff that I give you guys nuggets of things, and you guys just start connecting dots.
We connect dots, it's like, and then
Sometimes
you as
creating-
DM are like, I didn't think about that. Let me just write that off to the side and say it was my original idea.
No, it's
We're
more
making your
like-
stories for you.
It's more like I give you guys nuggets, and then you put pieces together, and then you just keep building in a direction that it's like, there's nothing that way, but okay.
Hey, you know what?
I love watching you guys
The speculation.
squirm.
The speculation. The
I know.
speculation
Okay, we're
is
keeping things
all,
interesting.
yeah, it's all what makes this game worthwhile.
And I love it. Anyway, I wanted to ask you guys, since this is pretty much the end of the library, if you guys would want to take a short rest before returning to the Aboleths and their leader, room car.
Oh man, taking a short rest would be great, except for I'm not sure any of us know how to sleep underwater.
Short rest.
Short rest.
You
Sit
don't
down.
sleep.
Breathe.
Oh god. Yeah, I heard long
Technically-
rest for some reason.
Technically speaking, all of you could fit in this room here. And
Yeah,
breathe air
okay,
and
yeah,
eat
short rest.
food.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do it.
Oh, the rest of you can. I'm going to be picking through these skeletons, looking for anything that, I don't exactly know for sure.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
it's
sure.
been 2,000 years. Stuff, depending on when it died in here.
Yeah, sure.
Is there any way to, just real quickly tell how long this place has been abandoned? Like, are there skeletons starting to fossilize?
Man, now would be the time for you to be a dwarf.
I mean, I forget, what's Asta?
I'm a dwarf.
A dwarf.
Ooh, does Asta have stone cunning?
Where would that information lie?
It would be under your features and traits on the right hand side. You do have stone cunning.
Ooh.
Hey, what do you know?
I didn't see it. What are you talking about?
Do you see dark vision and dwarven resilience?
Oh, okay.
It's underneath that. It's called stone cunning.
Oh, I see it now. I'm blind with glasses.
I understand that feeling.
Isn't that just blind himself?
No, I'm actually blinder than blind, believe it or not.
Can confirm.
Say what?
Yeah.
I mean, Deanoch, I still think you would have a better... I would say Deanoch would have a better idea of the fossilization process, whereas Asta would have a better chance at being able to tell you how old the library is based off of the stone itself. If you wish for her to find out, I would say ask her.
Ask Asa.
So yeah, before Deanoch goes through, he's right here right now. When he's squeezing, okay, when he's excuse me, Asta, close past. He's like, by the way, does anyone here know? Did anyone ask how old this place is? No? Does anyone know how to figure it out?
Asa kind of perked up. She's like, well, I do.
Oh. Well, I'm interested in some of these skeletons out here. I think there's a few that we just don't know of. So, gathering them for museums or personal studies might be interesting, but also knowing how old this place is, consider this scroll written in
It could. No, I don't mind. I'm kind of curious myself.
Nice. So Dean's going to swim over and start looking for, as I said, interesting skeletons. Investigation, I do believe.
Hold on 1 second here. Our internet's having a little bit of a hiccup here.
Oof.
Yeah, it's all right. I understood what you guys had said you were roboting on my end. It looks like anyway.
It's not a session until someone has a hiccup. So
yeah.
Right.
I will say, Deanoch can make a investigation check to determine the kind of the fossilization process, and then Asta.
Also, like I said, I want to look for interesting skeletons.
Right, that's part of the check. Asta, you can make a history check and you get to add your proficiency bonus twice to it. So roll a history check and add 8 to the roll.
Okay.
$13, 21.
So
He
21.
gets it.
No.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
Mine's looking a little rough.
Yeah, a 10 on Denox's end is a little rough. I would say, with a 10 there, Denox, that a lot of the bones here are, some of them have begun to fossilize, but a lot of them also are broken and chipped and cracked. You can see one it looks like this mad aboleth at some point, just when it bit into it, just completely crushed part of the skull, and the creature itself becomes nearly unidentifiable. It's not something you can. Maybe it could be something that you once knew, but it's hard to tell. In terms of finding something you are familiar with, you find a couple of human skulls, which somewhat concerns you, not so much. And then in terms of things that you don't know, there are a few bones that are weirdly shapen, but you don't know what they might go to, and they're like oddity bones. They're not something that you can just look at and be like, oh, this would go with this. It's like a standalone bone that you find. So unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you can glean from the bones at the moment. With a 21 on your history check, Asta, there are 2 pieces of information that you gather. One, this building and the stonework was magically constructed. The earth itself underneath, around the area, had been magically pulled and shaped, like if somebody used stone shape or wall of earth or something like that, in order to create the library itself. In addition to that, the walls indicate that the library has probably been here for maybe well over 2,000 years, maybe 2,500. Your best guess would be between 2,000 and 2,500.
All right, that's an old library.
Do you share that?
I do.
So this place is pre-rise, you're telling me?
Either pre-rise or right at the rise.
Oh, wow. This is kind of a major thing. Because this would have been built before we made the artificial lake. I guess something to tell Uncle Enron, and hope he can get some researchers down here to study this place.
Eh.
If we can get a deal with the aboleths.
Does anybody need to roll any more hit dice than that? Asta, I believe you need to roll some hit dice. I think you're looking a little rough.
Yeah, I'm down to like 68 from 95, so
I mean, that's not awful.
it could be worse, but yeah.
Do you remember how to do that?
So, wait. No.
All right. So on your character sheet, underneath your current hit points and underneath temporary hit points, there's a box that has the number 9, and underneath that it says hit dice, and then it says D10.
Oh.
If you click on hit dice, because it highlights in red, it'll automatically roll a D10 plus your Constitution modifier. Whatever you roll in the chat will you can heal for during this short rest, and then just mark and indicate in that box there that you've used 1, 2, 3, however many you desire. That way, because you only have 9 to spend, but you can spend up to 9 of them per long rest.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh no, ain't that nice?
I mean,
So,
max heals are always wonderful.
68 plus 13 is 81. I think so, anyway. So
Yep.
you're 14 away from max now. If you want to roll another one, you're welcome to, but you don't have to.
So I can put my health back to 81 now?
Yep.
Okay.
And if you wanted to spend another one to get it closer to the 95, you can. You don't have to. Cardin, Val, and Arcadia, are you guys good? Denoc, do you need to spend any hit dice or anything like that?
I'm full.
Yeah, I'm back up to 4 after mine.
Okay.
Also, crazy.
I'm like 1 away from
to,
full.
I only needed 4 HP.
push talk.
What?
Go.
Okay.
Move to push to talk.
Oh. Well, okay.
Alrighty then. Well, then
I'll
if
just
you
mute
guys,
myself when I'm not talking.
you guys are good to go then, we will go ahead and cut back to the aboleths. Because you guys want to speak with the leader, correct?
Hold on, did we look over the corpse?
You did last time. There wasn't
Okay.
much. There wasn't really any means of saving
Yeah.
the
There-
creature.
Couldn't see anything physically wrong with it. I did notice throughout combat that its eyes were glowing red.
There was some kind of madness that had entered its mind, and it had driven it to the point of insanity. There was, at the point that it had already.
Yeah, I shared that
reached-
information with Denoc, but
There
I
was
guess he
nothing.
kinda
There's nothing. There was
It's been
nothing
2
you
weeks,
guys-
dude.
Yeah, it has been. There was nothing that you guys could have done with your current capabilities and limitations.
so what's in these other 2 rooms in the back?
Again,
They-
private. They would have been either
Yeah.
private or public studies, depending on depending on what this library functioned as previously. Place for research, and for somebody to write
we should
papers, et cetera, et cetera.
We should probably
These-
check them out.
I kind of included that in the because the walls here and here are broken down so that you can actually just swim in and out of these rooms freely. And I included that in the general and these 2 rooms in the general inspections of the library earlier. There is not, and I mentioned this earlier, there is nothing
Okay,
left
gotcha.
in the library worth sticking around for.
Okay. Then yep, we should go back to the aboleths.
That is the next stop then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back.
Wow, that was a fast travel.
And for the sake of time, got the marker. You guys arrive arrive back. It does take about an hour to travel back here, and after a few minutes of speaking with other aboleths, nearly getting into a fight with another, but after mentioning a couple of names, telling them to go check, they see you towards their leader, Rumkar, who greets you back and asks you how went your assignment.
About as well as you might expect. We found a library that it was hiding out in, and it attacked us on sight.
The madness will cause them to do this.
Unfortunately, we had no choice but to end his suffering.
Venecian kind of closes up. It is understandable. Thank you for ending his suffering. Now, as promised, you wanted information. What knowledge do you seek?
I suppose, firstly, a way to perfectly bring my wife back fully to life.
Ah, you spoke of her previously, I believe. I believe you spoke to him, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had figured out that it was what was the spell that Zalp had cast? Sanctuary?
It's similar to that. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't,
something like that.
Sequester, name of it. Effectively. Okay, I just had to make sure he had the knowledge for it and that the knowledge was present. It is. To revive one's soul in mana, you will need a vial of blood from a fallen angel.
Good luck with that one, Denock.
Yeah.
Hold on. Would Denock know what a planetar is? That's a question I have to ask.
I would say not a planet.
With his...
You would probably know of divas.
Okay.
They are the lesser of the three primary angels. So divas would probably be something Denock would be aware of. Anything above that, most likely not.
Is hidden knowledge, right?
Actually, no. You guys have met a planetar.
Yeah.
You and
Denock.
particular, Denock and Valinar have met a planetar during the resurrection of your parents. So yes, you would know what a planetar is.
Though, I just knew him as some kind of holy being. I did not ask him what he was.
True, but you as a priest of the dead, know that he exudes way more magical power than any other angel ever documented or recorded, experienced to you and your people's knowledge.
But I never got his specific species name.
This is true, but he is some kind of an angel.
I don't suppose Torben counts as a fallen angel. Because if that were the
No.
case, then we've already got what you need.
You still have that vial of flesh.
I haven't found a use for it. I know I took it for a reason, but I cannot remember for the life of me why.
I swear I will throw it away one of these days.
I was thinking maybe via magical means we could use it to track Torben himself, but I can't remember exactly why I took the vial.
The vial itself. The closest thing it would track would probably be his old body.
Maybe. But I don't know.
And I'm sorry, Valnar, you were going to say something?
I was about to ask if it specifically has to be a fallen angel.
Yes.
Or just an angel.
Fallen
Dang.
angel.
About to say, I have a neat spell called Summon Celestial. Where I can just summon an angel.
Oh no, that would be so easy.
I mean, at the same time, a fallen angel would still be considered a celestial, correct?
Yes. Technically, yes.
The best kind of yes.
Yeah, technically, yes, it would still be a fallen or a celestial. Dang! People doing fireworks outside.
I heard something, and I was like,
Yeah, so did I.
At least I hope it's
Fireworks?
fireworks.
It is no longer July, people, but okay.
Yeah, and I live in a major town where it's like actually illegal to set off fireworks in city limits, like they just did. So but so yeah, no, they it would technically be a celestial, but a fallen celestial is not a celestial that can be summoned.
Dang it.
okay.
I guess that would be a little too easy.
And there are the dogs.
So
Yeah.
what you're saying is you'd have to summon the angel, convince him to turn away from his god that he serves, and then kill him.
Or just get a sample of blood. It doesn't have to be from a slain foe, correct? If we can just ask
What if-
for blood. I'm talking to the Aboleth, by the way.
If you can find one that is willing to do so.
Valinar, if you can summon one that belongs to the god of the dead, and his order of the god of the dead to not give blood, and he still gives it willingly, then he would be considered a fallen angel, correct?
I would say probably no.
You guys are looking for loopholes. I have already planned this out.
Well, you know.
Well, specifically, it's more Katya's looking for those loopholes.
It's my job.
Anyway,
Dinok will turn to...
actually, really fast.
Oh.
Garden, make me a history check.
Oh, shit.
I will make you a history check.
Please and thank you.
14.
Or 14.
Fortunately, that is not high enough. It was close,
Oof.
but not high enough.
I mean, that was pretty good for Card.
It is.
Something tickles your mind, but it's just like, eh.
Like, you were like, oh, an angel. Hey, wait a minute. Ooh, jellyfish. And and then you go back, and then you just turn back and write, oh, right, conversation. And just go back to being focused on what is happening.
I know of divas. Would they be strong enough, or would it be something stronger?
Any celestial being of diva ranking or higher would be proficient. However, the stronger the entity, the quicker the recovery.
So here's a potentially dangerous question, but Dinok at this focuses on Rumkar, excuse me, and asks, "Would the blood of a god suffice?"
You can almost see like the corner of the mouth twitch in a smile. It would. But most gods are very greedy. Bear that in mind.
I don't like where you're going with this, Dinok.
I love where he's going with this.
Oh boy.
Is there any other questions from Lumkar?
Actually, I have one myself.
Oh,
Rumkar, my bad. Rumkar.
What? That's not what I meant to go.
So, as a player, I believe because Wither is a packed weapon of sorts, that I should be able to produce it. Just bam, there it is, right? Or is that only if I take Pact of the Blade?
That's if you take Pact of the Blade, and I believe that's a 3rd level ability with Warlock.
Okay.
So currently it's at your hip.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I don't think I put any of my equipment in the bag of holding.
Well, you put all your perishable items in the bag of holding, but I would imagine you would have kept.
Yeah, I would have kept Wither on me.
Some components.
I don't feel comfortable with that being anywhere besides on me.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I will actually produce that, and I will ask, do you know anything about this blade called Wither?
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And then Dinok will also pipe up. Or what about the Red Scare, or even...
One thing at a time. One thing at a time. We can ask more questions if he will allow it.
This is a particularly interesting question. However, Aboleth being native to Off-Key. I'll tell you what. Roll, Katya, roll me a D100. And the difficulty of this is very high, so you need to roll above an 85. You roll above an 85, right. He'll have some information for you.
Good luck with that.
I mean, he's got inspiration
60.
if he needs to.
Ooh, yeah, let me try that.
Inspiration works on D20 rolls, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a 60.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, that's higher than what I thought you were going to get, so...
Right. Natural 1!
Yeah. Unfortunately, that blade is something I am unfamiliar with.
What am I carrying then?
Well,
Nobody
then ask him about
it.
The specific names we literally just learned.
Yes. If you don't know anything about Wither, then perhaps you know something about an individual named Ravarora.
Ah, Ravarora, mother of the controlled magics.
Mother?
Shit.
Ravarora is a female.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Then that means... Oh, shit.
Well, go on. Share the information with me.
She was one of the first to grace the world with magic of her own fabrication. Magic has always been present in Mundus, in the air, in the earth, the water. She was the first to twist it and bend it to her whim.
It does fit with some of what we've learned, I suppose.
Do you
Well,
know
man, she was the
if...
first wizard. Woo!
Wow. Well, sorcerer.
Nope, wizard.
Oh, okay.
She studied the flow of magic in order to bend it to her whim.
Ah.
Yeah.
So, beyond that, was that an ability she had before or after her pact with some demon general?
I only knew her as the first. Why would she require a pact with someone else? He looks genuinely confused by that question, by the question posed.
I don't know.
We have reason to believe she made a pact with a demon general by the name of Tenor.
Now, it is all theory, but we did find a scroll in that library that outlined all this, which is why I have all these questions about these
Written in
individuals.
Infernal, by the way.
Yes. There was a name on there that I don't recognize at all. It was circled. There were question marks around it, which means it was of some importance, but it was Tenor.
Tenor. The name sounds unfamiliar.
Unless he changed his name to Tenebris.
Unlikely. The demon general Tenebris is like most demons, very prideful in nature. Chances of them changing one's name is very low.
Fair.
But not out of the realm of possibility.
It would only be done if their lord and master commanded it.
And what if a pact with a elven master?
This information is new to me. The knowledge of a pact between Ravarora, my apologies, and a demon general never occurred in our knowledge.
I suppose one question is, how long ago was Ravarora alive?
Ooh, that'd be a good question. I wonder if he knows. Aboleth and their freaking eternal memories, man.
Right.
Ooh, that's actually pretty good. Hold on, I gotta actually now double check and see what the intelligence stats of an Aboleth.
Oh, jeez.
I'm pretty sure it's high, but I rolled like in a position where I'm like, I'm gonna double check because this could make or break what he does. Okay, yeah. What was the question again? Just real quick.
How long ago was Ravarora alive?
Ravarora would have been three, maybe 4 or even longer thousands of years ago.
That's a long time.
Pre-rise, easily.
But could she
Before
have been alive
She would,
during
she,
the run?
she would have existed before the war. However, given her nature, the magics that she powered, and if you say this deal does truly exist, perhaps she has found a way to transcend that of time.
That sounds absurd to me.
But at the same time, one of our enemies became a god.
True. Perhaps she became a goddess. And maybe she took another name after that. There's no telling. But if this scroll existed in a library, an ancient library.
Rise or even before.
Yes. This scroll is pretty old too. The information could have changed since then. Information on names have been lost. And I mean, it's been demonstrated already that between Hofkeen and wherever Valinar's from, the names of the gods, goddesses they differ.
Unfortunately, since the rise, our knowledge has been limited to what has happened here and unfolds here on Hofkeen.
What concerns me is what this information brought before us, that Ravarora had a pact with a demon. Before the Demon Wars, did she have a part in creating that strife?
If a giant fish could shrug, it would shrug.
Well, I suppose one question is, what was she like as a person? Was she kind? Was she malicious?
She was a kind-hearted, but scary as well. One of those mothering types, you would. He gives like a chuckle, kind of laughing to him.
Dina's like, yeah, my mom's like that.
Any other questions? Otherwise, I would say you guys can return to Enrans. Or if there's
I have more questions at this time.
I do have one.
Yes, Tina.
If we enter a war between us and I'm asking this because I have a feeling things are leading up to a fight between us and those in the service of the Sleeping King. The Sleeping King wants to spread vampirism here. We're preventing him, or at least trying to. If he sends agents to retaliate, would you be willing to assist in Hofkeen's defense? Whether for another favor or something else?
He thinks for kind of a long moment, kind of thinking through.
I will say this, we are not looking for your assistance with Torben. I have a personal grudge with him, and wish to
Torben's
wring his-
ours.
I wish to wring his scrawny neck myself. Though I understand I may not have the actual physical strength to do so, and may ask Cardin to do so in my stead.
Kind of looks understandingly at you and goes, if a war is to break out here on Offking, if it is Korath's will, it will be done.
Who?
The
The Kraken.
Korath
Oh,
is... Yeah.
Korath. Oh, Korath. I heard Kordeth. I was like, who? Korath.
Korath.
Gotcha.
If it's Korath's will, it will be done.
Also, more as... We have a flying fortress powered by crystals. If we can figure out a way, would your people wish to return to the surface oceans?
Katya gives Dinok this kind of concerned look.
This is a question that I would need to ponder and inquire with my brethren about. This is something that would affect all of us equally. It will be a topic of discussion for my kin and myself. But rest assured, little dragon, it will not be forgotten.
And I suppose you could also tell Lady Korath of the same. Don't know how we would do that, but certainly
Magic.
I would try.
Nods understanding.
Somewhat, yes, but...
Alright. Last call for questions. None?
Would he have any information on the surface?
No. At least not for not present day surface information. If you have questions for him from surface information from 2,000 years ago, you might have something.
Okay. I was just making sure because most of the questions Cardin would have would be for present day surface.
Understood.
Yeah, Rip had said earlier somewhere that their knowledge was limited to Hawkeen from the Rise.
Okay.
I think that was before you joined us, so...
Oh, no. I don't remember. Anyway, with that then, we...
Ooh. I have to know, just out of curiosity, was there more plentiful water aboard the... I'm not sure how to pose this in a way that you would be able to answer it. Because I don't know what your people would have called the land of Dirax before it rose.
I suppose you could say, what did you call the place? A desert?
The problem there is that we had free reign of all water on the surface. Oceans, rivers, lakes. We were not confined to one pond, it kind of says, looking up. We have brethren out there still, elsewhere. Lost, but not forgotten. Satisfied?
That'll work.
Okay. then we are going to take a break. And when we come back, we are going to rejoin at. Oops, ignore that roll. Ignore it, please. That was an accidental misclick. How I managed to do that, but I did.
Magic.
Yeah, and we are going to come back, and we are going to rejoin. It'll be evening, close to probably 5-6 o'clock, at Enran's place. I'm assuming that is where you guys wish to go. Anyway.
Yes.
Then that is where we will join after we take a really quick break. So, everyone take a break. Try to be back in like 5 minutes or so. We'll be back in a little bit, guys.
Oh, I don't know if all I gotta do is blend them up and bone smoothie.
Right? Alright, guys. We're back! Alrighty. So,
Can you announce that we're back more violently?
we're back! Better?
Much.
Oh, damn it.
Is it
I
weird
forgot-
that's making me think of a movie?
I forgot to push to talk before I did it.
Lols.
Good job.
We're
No, no, no.
back.
So, actually, I can probably do you one better. Hold on, let me see. Let me find something that would be worth it.
Oh, that.
This one. We're back!
Oh, shit.
That just sort of sounds like the epic rap battles of history, guys.
So, you guys walk back across the lake, walk across the land.
I'm retrieving my boots and my robes.
Trudging your way back to the city, and eventually finding your way back inside the estate of Enran, Enoch's uncle and your guys' current ally in the city of Hofking. Arriving there, it is getting late in the evening, probably close to 5 or 6, maybe a little bit later. And you guys are still fairly wet from your walk back. So, but you guys do arrive safe and sound with no issues back at Enran's estate. And you guys have a little over 24 hours at this point before the meeting with Torben. So as you guys enter into the house, Enran has you guys kind of dry off in the front room where a fireplace has been lit. Oh man!
I hope he has some kind of a shade or something that I can stand behind as I do it.
He was just gonna have you leave your clothes on, but okay. You could definitely acquire something like that for you.
I mean, I would change it to my common clothes for the meantime since they're dry, but would and essentially I'm going to be stripping off all the wet clothes and putting on dry ones.
Okay, we're all in here except Asta.
Everyone's like, okay.
Wait,
And
do you
Caddy
not-
is being Caddy again.
Do you guys not believe in modesty?
Enoch just looks as he's bare chested right now, and he's just like, "What's up?"
Ugh.
Look at Cardin.
You know what? Maybe I'll just wait for you all to do whatever you're going to do, and I will change my clothes separate.
All right, as long as you don't catch a cold. Standing there, soaked to the bone.
It's just for a few minutes.
Yeah, it only takes a few minutes for hypothermia to set in, too.
That's what you're for, cleric.
I mean, there is a fire going.
Yeah, but this one's your own fault.
We've already proven that he doesn't heal people who cause them own pain.
I mean, this is valid.
I didn't take any oath.
I shall heal thy none.
It is a side note.
Inflict wounds. Oops, I meant to cure those.
Whoops! Oh, he's dead.
As a side note,
How far are we from the city hall? The place where we're supposed to meet with.
It's maybe a 30-minute walk. It's not
Okay,
very
so
far.
what would
that's
that be in
about
actual distance?
it's about a mile.
Oh, an actual distance?
Yeah.
That would be more like half a mile.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can walk a mile in, like, an hour. Or, you can walk a mile in less than half an hour, so... I mean, at a brisk pace. So I would say it's probably right around a mile-ish.
You're right at the moment, because I want to use clairvoyance to try and see into there and see if Torben's doing anything tonight.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ew.
Okay. Can you click clairvoyance for me, please?
I'll just click the cast spell.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Not actually cast it, though. Not yet.
Do you have those material components?
That's what I bought it when we were at the market. That's why I asked for 200 gold pieces. To buy
He's
the
currently
horn
sitting
and
at
the
a
eye.
dark desk, rubbing his hands maniacally, with twirling a fake evil mustache.
Well, this is on a...
On a location. Yeah, a place you have visited or seen before.
I will say you can do. I will say that that it is within range.
Okay.
I don't think you can move the thing.
I don't think so. Yeah, it remains in place for the duration.
Okay. So where do you wish to place it?
I don't want to put it right in the room. I want to put it just outside the door to the room. Like in that little, because I think it was like there was like a hallway outside. I kind of want to put it like in that, right in front of the door in that hall. Kind of close to the door though.
Go ahead and ping it for me.
Why is it not letting me? I need to remember how to ping.
Click and hold. Okay, so you want it right there. Okay.
Yeah.
And are you choosing sight or hearing?
Let me double check because I think.
You can do one or
Yeah,
the other, and then you can use an action to change between the two.
Yeah, I want to start with seeing, because then I might switch to hearing if the door is closed.
Okay. Let's see. At that. Doors. So the doors would be open,
Okay.
and you would see him because he is standing. But we'll use the map for this because it's fun this way.
Okay.
You see him standing at the window, kind of arms behind his back, staring outside, almost as the sun is pressing behind the last bit of the.
So it's still very super villainy.
It's almost like I'm trying to do that.
Question: is the window still broken?
It was never broken.
Okay.
The individual door, I believe it was, that met with you turned into a gas and passed.
Oh, okay. I thought I turned into a bat. My bad.
Nope,
He passed gas.
So there's your square for your sensor.
Okay. And if he's not moving or doing anything, I want to use my action to switch to hearing to see if I can hear anything he's saying.
Okay. Lasts for 10 minutes. For a while, he is quiet. Probably 2-3 minutes go by, and you haven't heard him move. You haven't heard anybody else approach or say anything to him. But after a bit, after those 3-4 minutes have passed, you hear boots on the cobblestone near you, walking in this and they walk past you, enter the room, and you can hear it getting further and further away from you. And eventually, you hear this would be a voice that you have not heard before. I want to make sure. You hear kind of a deep voice kind of come through, just kind of. You seem to be distracted by something tonight. Is it something that Enoch has perhaps done? You can hear Torben respond with, "No, it's not that. He's clever, but young. Tonight is the night that we will be at our strongest. One night a year that occurs. And I'm passing up the opportunity to take this island by force. This game you are playing could cost you a lot, Torben. I am well aware of the cost. You don't have to patronize me, Jean. Unlike you, I will be reborn again if it fails. What do you mean, reborn? Torben, what are you hiding from us? That's about all you get with a 10 minutes clairvoyant.
Did he say the name Jean?
Yeah, it's spelled way differently. If you say it out loud to Dinok, he would understand who it is. It is Jean Genthias, which is the head of the Dragon Ward, and it's Gein because.
Oh, I'm gonna pass that along to everyone else.
That information is made known to the rest of you.
Who? Gene? What?
Gene
Jinthias.
Genthias.
Who's
That
that?
is for spelling references for the note taker. That is
I got
G-E-I-N.
it. I will copy and paste first and last name into the chat. There
That
we
is
are.
the leader of the Dragon Ward. And to be honest, a right son of a bitch.
Do you think he's a vampire like the rest, or
More than likely, considering we were told that the champion and the Dragon Ward are firmly in Torben's grasp. Champion Ward being from Jor Tom, Dragon Ward being Gene Genthias.
I see. So, Torben said that he's passing up the opportunity where he will be at his strongest to take this entire island.
And I'm
Why?
legitimately not sure why.
That doesn't make any sense. You would think he'd strike while the iron was hot.
You said he has a way to be reborn again.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
not sure
Is-
about that.
it's
No,
already
that's what he
happened
said,
once.
but
Is he treating
But-
this all as some kind of game?
he really should be. Okay, so Dinoc, when you spoke to that Planetar when we brought your parents back,
Wait, that was a.
did he tell you
what?
anything about souls coming back?
Hold on, real quick. You said, well, what's the name of that
When did this happen?
The Planetar?
Planetar? All right.
Did he say
Um,
anything about? Because he spoke to me about it. The more you die, and the more you're brought back, the weaker it is. The harder it is for the soul to get back.
To
Meaning that if
DM,
you're
did the angel say that, or did Dinoc just say, I don't care, just
I don't believe he told you that. He told Valinar that. I know for sure he told Valinar that. I don't remember him telling Dinoc that though.
yeah, I did not think so. Okay.
I think
Yeah.
the reason
No.
I think he believed that you wouldn't have listened to him even if he did tell you. So that was part of my argument there.
No, he didn't. He didn't say anything about that, though.
Yeah.
I was more focused on bringing my parents back,
Yeah.
and I honestly don't think I
think-
would have cared either way at the time.
The only reason I think that stuck out to me is I'm pretty sure my mentor keeps getting killed and brought back to life.
Unless he's only being brought to the edge of death and healed.
He was the shadow thing you saw behind me all those times.
Ah! Unless that's some kind of removal of spirit from body kind of thing, then yes, that would.
Yeah. But on a but that's a conversation for later. If we can kill Torben again, and if he comes back, if we can just keep killing him, eventually he won't be able to come back.
Eventually,
So-
his resurrection will be too costly for the sleeping king.
That's assuming that if we kill him this time, and by the way the Planetar I was talking to made it sound, there's a chance that if we kill him and he drops to Mortem's realm, Mortem will literally just grab him and hold him in place. Because he was pretty angry when Torben was brought back.
Well, that actually sounds like a Cardin plan. If you kill it enough, it'll just stay dead. But
I mean, it's never failed me before.
I'm not so sure that his last death even counted. He told us when he put on that mask. Well,
It
before
counted.
he put on the mask. Well, he told us before he put on the mask that he would meet the Sleeping King, and if it sent him straight there and the Sleeping King brought him back, then who says that his soul will go to any god other than the Sleeping King?
Because the Planetar actually straight told me that his soul was pulled from Mortem
Oh,
to be brought back.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know how solid any of that is, but that's all what I put together from that conversation with the Planetar.
well, the Sleeping King is a god just the same as Mortem is, so that would suggest that he could steal from Mortem again and again and again without trouble. Which means your theory on Torben being harder and harder to bring back each time might not be overly accurate.
That's not based on Mortem's grasp, though. That first one is based on the weakening of the soul.
Fair.
Mortal soul can only take so much.
I fear it's actually going to be the other way around. He got brought back once, and now he's a vampire. What if he comes back again and he's even stronger? What if every time the Sleeping King brings him back, he just gains more power and becomes harder to kill? Until he too becomes a god.
Then I suppose.
How about we just lock him in a crystal like you did with your wife?
I'll take.
Hmm.
Hey,
I know
Katia,
how.
can we revisit your vial of body real quick?
What do you mean? The vial of
He
Torben's
wasn't-
flesh?
He wasn't resurrected in that body.
Okay.
If we were to keep him from our end, to keep him from coming back, we would have to trap his soul, not his body.
Well, isn't Denox's wife, isn't her soul also in her body?
She died before we put her in the spell.
Oh.
My understanding, it's the body that's being kept alive. Not the
I
soul.
thought
Not
I thought-
alive. She's just being preserved.
Okay.
I thought you preserved her before her death.
No, she.
So then all we need to do is
Forgive me. This is bringing back memories I'd rather have
right.
buried. But
Well,
no, she died before we found that spell and placed her in stasis.
Right. But do you see the logic here? If she can be placed in stasis to preserve her body, then that means we can trap Torben. We don't have to kill him before we do it.
We would
just
need
have
to
we just have-
somehow get him in the spell. That I don't.
knock him out. We did it once before. We knocked him out and tied him up.
Well, we kind of tricked. Oh, yeah. Then we kind of tricked him into putting on the mask and cut off his head.
Oh, we didn't trick him into doing it.
No, he put on the. He nabbed the mask from us and put it on.
Yes. There was no trickery there. He said, "Here, let me show you." And then next thing you know, he's a vampire, and he's a pain in our ass again.
Where is that mask, by the way?
I believe.
Who's got it written down?
I just assumed we put it in the bag of holding.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I took it
that's where
out
we
to
put it.
show the aboleth.
Crap.
Hang on, I'm sure I can find it.
Alright, good to know. Anyway, anything else for this evening, or would you guys like to take your long rest and prepare for your... Actually, is there anything anybody wants to do leading up to the meeting? Because otherwise we can fast forward some time here.
I've got two things I would like to do. One, I can just tell you and you say it's done, you know.
Is this
The other is...
stuff? Or
No.
Oh, now? Okay, yeah, let's do it.
One is, Deanoch wants to tell Enron about the library and just, like, mentioning if there's some way he can get the aboleths to agree to it, get some researchers down there to look at stuff.
Okay. Easy enough. He says that he will look into it. He thinks it'll be kind of tricky given the aboleth's nature, but he will try.
And the other thing is... he wants to pull Katya aside real quick for a small conversation.
Okay, let's see if anybody else wants to do anything like solo real quick, and if not, then we'll come back to you. Alright?
There's something Valnar wants to do before he goes to bed. And that's to use... Sorry?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. He wants to use sending to contact Nadon again, and just ask him if they've killed him before and brought him back, just to try and confirm that theory of his.
Okay. I will really quickly give you an answer to that because he would know it. Effectively, what he would respond to, and I'm not gonna count the word stuff here. Effectively, what he would say is yes, but not to the point where something like raise dead or revivify was required.
Does he give him?
Sorry.
Does he give like a number? Or
A number of times he's been.
Yeah.
He would not be able to give you a number. It's been multiple times.
Okay. Okay.
Something for you to think on. Asta, Cardin, Katya, anything you guys want to do before bed? Or in preparation for the meeting?
Cardin will exercise.
Fair enough.
Preparation for the meeting?
Yes.
Before bed tonight, I'm going to eat a meal, and I also want to see if I can somehow get in contact with my patron. I know he typically contacts me through dreams, but I'll be
Begging him to
pretty much
Gotcha.
requesting that he have a meeting with me.
Well, then I definitely want to do our role play before that.
Yes, that's why I was asking. I'm trying to get.
So then Katya is getting ready for bed, and Deanoch shows up.
Well, we'll.
Oh my.
Oh my! Yeah, you're right.
We'll come to that. Asta, is there anything you want to do?
I don't really think that there's much that she'll probably just like eat and go to bed. I don't think there's much that she would be doing right now.
Okay. Then I will turn it over to Deanoch and Katya. Katya, as you are getting ready for... That was a bad roll, buddy.
That was a really bad roll. I'm glad I got that out of the way.
Katya, as you are getting ready for the bed, you hear a knock at your door.
Oh my! Who is it?
Katya, it's Deanoch. I want to ask you something real quick.
Okay, sure. Come on in. It's unlocked.
I enter Katya's room. I know this is going to sound strange, but when you described the one you made your pact with,
Yes.
The father. Yes?
Yes.
You said... Did he have wings?
Not that I could see, no.
Ah,
But he certainly didn't look like any demon.
demon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Based on the way that he looked, his appearance made me think that he might have been an angel, but no, he didn't have any wings.
Well, if he is Tenoror, then that's changes what I was going to ask, but if he's not and he's somehow a celestial of some kind,
Mm-hmm.
do you remember what the Aboleth said was required to...
I remember greatly, yes. You're asking that if he is a celestial, if I could convince him to give up a vial of his blood.
if he is a fallen celestial.
If he happens to be, I mean, all I can do is ask, but I can't guarantee that he'll give it up without wanting something in exchange. But
And
I suppose
Enoch takes a deep breath and just...
I
And
suppose
whatever
yours.
price I will pay.
I was just about to say that. Considering your situation, I would expect you as such to respond in such a manner. After all, this is your wife we were talking about.
I suppose I should say any price other than your lives or the lives of innocents. If I bring Borgak back with that kind of sacrifice, I doubt I'll survive longer than a few seconds.
Well, if there's anything that I've learned from my time in alchemy, it's that there is a law of equivalent exchange. Very common knowledge that typically in order to gain something, you have to give up the equivalent of. Now, I know that's not how magic works, but chances are he's going to probably require some kind of a blood sacrifice in exchange for his blood, if it even comes to that. But he hasn't asked me to kill anybody yet.
If he requires blood sacrifices, well, there's no... I don't believe there would be a problem with that. After all, unless he specifically says innocent blood, blood freely given or blood from a person on death row.
Death row?
Yes, it is one of our systems of punishment. If someone is convicted of multiple murders or is just generally deemed too horrible of a person to be left alive, whether it is, like I said, murder or other various crimes, they can be executed, and those awaiting are on what is referred to as death's row.
Oh, interesting.
Surprisingly, not a lot of those in Hofking.
Except Torben would probably be on that list if he were easy to detain and or keep dead.
Who has
I
Torben
didn't-
killed? In Hofking. Who has
Nobody
Torben
in
killed
Hofking.
Oh, nobody in Hofking, no. We definitely know he
by
murdered
Hofking-
at least...
By Hofking laws, Torben is a law-abiding citizen.
Yes. But on Isris, he's wanted for at least one murder that we can confirm.
Multiple associated to him as well.
Many tortures.
Anyway,
and sacrifices.
finish
But
your
anyways.
conversation.
Yes, I can most definitely inquire about it, though I'm not so sure he's going to be willing to give up his true identity so easily. But I don't know. I could be rather
Well, I
persuasive.
suppose you could specifically ask if he is a fallen celestial.
He may be willing to give me that information. He could be lying too. I
After all,
don't
he
know.
could say no and just
Right.
not continue that conversation.
True.
And he
I'll
would be
see.
giving much up.
I've pretty much requested that I can speak with him as soon as possible. He usually comes to me in my dreams when he has a request,
Ah,
but I don't know how to just open up a line of communication any other way. So maybe I'll have an
well,
answer
like
for you
you
in the
have
morning.
a specific sending spell to contact other worldly beings, right? It
No, I don't have that kind of power.
would
Not
be
yet.
fantastic if such a spell existed that I could get a hold of.
You mean like the fancy thing that Valinor has?
Yes, I've been meaning to ask him about that, but
Well,
things just keep coming up, haven't they?
yes. It's been one thing and another, and all I want to do is go home. But whatever he requests of you,
If he requests a follower, as in, if he requests my allegiance,
what if he requests your life in exchange for hers?
Deanoch kind of looks up at the ceiling, kind of in contemplation. On the one hand, I would freely give my life if it meant she could return. But on the other, knowing her, she would somehow bring me back to life as well, and then beat the ever-loving shit out of me for doing that.
Sounds like the cycle of death is a complicated matter.
No, it's just my wife is that willful and stubborn. That's why I fell in love with her, honestly.
She sounds like the kind who would march to death's door just so that she can drag you back screaming and kicking the whole way.
She would indeed.
She would like Carden.
Yes,
Probably.
she would. Where did you come from, Carden?
And in the
Oh,
distance,
huh?
Carden sneezes. And as he sneezes, we'll fade on that scene, assuming you guys are done with everything you wanted to ask of him.
One minor thing left.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Hmm.
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but
And I do want to apologize for letting the cat out of the bag earlier. It
Ooh,
just...
an apology from
I'm
Deanoch.
I'm not above admitting when I'm wrong.
It's just
It's
so
just that I'm not often wrong.
it is unheard of, and it feels good to hear.
Just when things came to light with not only Torben being in the service of a being who can make him a vampire even after death, and the whole deal with his previous allegiance, I want to say, alliance, I don't know what he was doing with the sacrifices to, yeah, a demon. Just things about that just set off all sorts of warning bells, and
Well, perhaps-
knowing what's going on here on Hofkeen, I
My-
panicked.
My theory is that the demon world is similar in structure to the realm of the gods. The gods are always vying for more attention from mortals and battling each other to see who's the best and the strongest, yada yada. It would make sense that the demons would do a similar thing. So, vying for attention, requesting sacrifices. Who's
Being
to
done
say?
with that.
Who's to say that even if my patron is some sort of demon lord, Tenoror or whatever, that he wouldn't side with us if it meant destroying other demons that would step on his toes. After all, our goals would align in that manner.
Yes, but if we're willing to slay other demon generals, wouldn't we eventually turn on him?
Don't think he hasn't considered that. But it's all speculation.
Yes.
Hopefully I'll know more tonight, actually.
Then I shall allow you your rest, and hopefully your conversation will bear fruit. If it happens. Hopefully it does.
I half expect I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning feeling unrested and about as unknowledgeable in the situation as I am right now. But I'll certainly try for you.
Well, we'll at least get you some good coffee.
No more of the unicorn frappuccino, please.
No, probably something simple. Pumpkin spice latte. I think you might like that.
That sounds like it'd be fun.
Oh, excuse me. And as Dinok leaves and closes the door, you guys head off to bed.
Yes, I do.
And you guys sleep. Valinar.
Oh boy.
You have a enjoyable sleep. It's definitely different, especially when you see in a dream an entity that you've seen once before. Hearing as they did before, you see this individual appearing almost similar to that of your father, but yet still different enough that you know that it is not him. And he kind of goes, "I can finally see you again, Valinar. You were clouded for a moment. I'm not sure what happened. But eventually I was able to see you again. Rare that one can hide from my sight. But I saw you in your struggle against, well, if you could call it a struggle, against the Bone Dragon. It was a formidable opponent, and you have mine and his thanks for freeing you. His soul has now been freed from that endless nightmare. I do not wish to keep you long, for you have a busy day ahead of you. But
Say that again.
no, you have a busy day ahead of you.
Oh,
And,
no, that was Valinar's side reply.
Sorry, I thought I cut
You
out.
can say that again. You can say that again, and so he says it again.
My bad. I thought I cut out. My fault.
No,
And he kind of goes, "You tried to use your own form of sight to help prepare you for a situation that is not stacked in your favor. Perhaps next time you find a moment worthy of doing something like this, you may try something different." And the creature, the entity, reaches out and with just a long bony finger taps your forehead, like right in the center. And you can feel a rush of information.
Okay.
as you gain your other spell, your other domain spell.
Yep. Right.
Sorry, I couldn't think of the wording there.
Yep.
You acquire the information and the knowledge to cast the spell. We have but a moment if you have any questions for me.
If we manage to kill Torben again, will he just come back again?
The legions that served under the Sleeping King thousands of years ago were as formidable as the demon hordes that reside in the abyss. Killing a creature like this doesn't permanently keep them. Demons return to their home plane of existence, where they are reformed and reborn. There is a similar process with vampires and the kin or creations of the Sleeping King. The process itself is unknown to most of us deity. Don't have a means of tracking that information. The most likely source of information for that particular anomaly would either be through Mortem himself or from our sister, Vita. But that is really all I know, unfortunately.
Thank you.
And if there is nothing else you wish to ask, morning comes.
Long rest, but
Long rest. You all acquire a long rest. Katya, no one comes to you in your dreams, except for maybe a shirtless John.
Oh.
You have a dream. It's pleasant, but not the one that you desired. Not the one that you wished would occur. So, it is morning.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is the morning of the day of your meeting. I would assume that you informed Denoch that...
I had no luck.
Yeah.
Sorry, Denoch.
It was
Well,
a long
I had-
shot, I suppose.
I had no luck with that, but I had some other luck, if you know what I mean. Wink.
Oh.
anyways, changing
You
topic
dirty pervert.
real quick.
Yeah. Please.
Real quick. Change topic. Random question. Denoch.
Hmm?
Do you know how demons are killed?
Religion check, probably?
I will allow it.
You're gonna need to get some salt.
I love
Maybe
the
an
poll.
angel would.
I love the poll.
Yep.
I love the poll. I will allow a religion check. It is a fairly hard DC, but I will allow it.
Straight religion, then?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a thing.
Demons were
That's
never
a
my
great roll.
demons were never my topic of study, honestly.
Fair enough.
Thought I'd ask. Yeah.
May I roll history? Or religion.
Well, hold on. I'll get to you in a minute, Carden. Yeah. So for podcast listeners, that's a natural 1. So
But I have a +9 to religion.
Yeah, which is a 10. Still not high enough to gain you any information about how to kill a demon. Carden,
Yeah.
as far as you are aware, you kill a demon by hitting it repeatedly until it vanishes.
I will repeat that out loud to
Okay.
the party.
You tell them that you hit it enough times and eventually it vanishes. Unfortunately...
Valnar. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Valnar will just laugh at that and go, "What are you doing?" It just comes back again. It just keeps coming back.
Carden would probably reply with, "It's a different one, isn't it?"
Yes.
Because to me that makes sense. That makes sense. Unfortunately, above game, most of you know how to actually kill a demon. Nobody currently is capable of actually doing that. You guys are probably you guys probably are like the highest level spellcasters in Mundus, for the most part. There are a few exceptions.
Like the Archmage.
Correct. But the Archmage is tied up in powering a floating island, so not a whole lot of them doing.
Oh. But would he know of spells to do so?
You are unsure.
And we're too far away to ask.
I mean, not quite. Looks at Valinar.
What is your... Sorry, my player brain is not working. Sorry.
Bending.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
But keep in mind, you guys have your meeting with Torben this evening.
So looking forward to that.
Yep.
The only reason I ask is because what if, this is going back to the whole Torben not dying thing, what if the Sleeping King's followers, or at least Torben, work like a demon?
Isn't that kind of what I just said last night?
Kind of, but you can still kill a demon.
Oh, I'm sure anything can be killed if you try hard enough. I mean, if we can't kill a demon outright, and we can't kill Torben outright, how does Denoch here expect to fell a god?
Well, one way is to, in one way or another, eliminate worship of it, whether ending the lives of its followers, or making it fade into obscurity by proving to people it's not really so benevolent, making people lose interest in worshipping it. That was my plan.
That plan might work, except you won't be alive to see it. Odds are it'll take hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands upon thousands of years.
Oh, I'll figure out a way to have that time.
So, if there's nothing to this conversation, my question to you guys is there anything you guys want to do during the day in order to prepare for the meeting with Torben? Or do you guys... Because if you don't, we will fast forward to the beginning of this meeting.
I have a question for Asta then.
Yeah.
Denoch will just ask Asta, like, does she have enough arrows, or does she need to restock? And if Uncle Enran can supply those.
So, Asta, do you have arrows or bolts still?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Where is that located again?
You're the one tracking it. You tell me. It should be on your character sheet
I know, but
somewhere.
where? Okay, fine, I'll look for it myself.
Honestly, arrows do not have a
You should have a
static
resource.
spot.
You should have a resource for them on your character sheet, on the right-hand side.
Is it under bolts?
Yeah, bolts.
Yeah, that would be it.
That's 19.
Okay.
You still have 19.
Yeah,
I
so
would
I should be good.
I will say, just so that you're well equipped, go ahead and change that to 40. Enoch's uncle, Enran, will supply you with enough bolts to bring you up to 40.
Well, how kind.
We should also ask your uncle, Enoch, if he knows how to access the weather dome controls.
Oh, right. Uncle Enran,
Yes.
one thing that came up in our conversations throughout the day, do you know how to access the weather controls? Because if we can get those to let in natural, normal sunlight, we may have a weapon against Torben and any of his followers.
Unfortunately, the weather dome controls are controlled by the Chondro family. They keep a pretty tight. They run a tight ship on that information and stuff, so that people don't easily mess with the weather of the city. You know how some young kids can be, and he kind of gives you this knowing look.
I will mention that was my friend at the time, not me. She coerced me into it.
Oh, so you can be manipulated by women,
Either
huh?
way, Van Ray Corgro is
I'm
the
a married
individual
man.
who would have the primary access to the weather domes.
Do you think we could be able to speak with them before our meeting?
What? If you guys don't remember, you don't remember. It's possible.
What?
I said it's possible.
Okay, then perhaps we should do that.
Okay, one more time. What was the name? I don't think I caught it.
Chondro, or Van Ray.
Chondro.
Yeah, that's the last name. Condro.
Mhm.
Van Ray. Vanre. She is a human of the clerical variety.
Oh, shit.
There it is.
Is he the one we almost started a war with?
I'm confused. What?
Back whenever we all first came here, we had a confrontation with a priest.
No.
You see that priest? Oh, okay.
Never mind. That's not. Okay, I thought you thought something else.
I must have missed this.
I'm not giving you guys any information. I don't know. I honestly, it's possible that you don't have the information. I'm not saying or anything. Shifty eyes, shifty eyes.
What about you, Mr. Note Taker? You got anything?
Unfortunately, I am in the process of converting everything to digital, and my notebook is actually in the other room. I do not have it on hand, and I don't have I don't have it all typed up either. Okay, give me 2
Because the other
seconds.
room is so far away.
Minor pause in the game, folks.
All
Bro.
because the DM is saying words. Imagine that.
Oh, wait. You said Chandra?
Yeah,
The Heaven's Ward person?
yeah.
At least I know where I heard that name now.
Sorry, I had to take a walk to my other house to get it.
That's the only thing I could find was Heaven's Ward.
Chondro is the Heaven Ward's family. The family that runs the Heaven's Ward, anyway.
Why is my brain?
Oh. Yeah.
What is it?
So they were essentially riling up the citizens about the fire giants and the Draco Lich.
No?
I think this was
That was
That was
a
that was the
priest of
priest.
priest of Nurgle.
yeah.
the war guy.
That's what I got on here about priests.
Yeah,
What
that's
was
our only confrontation with the priest.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It was not them. They are not part of the Chondro family.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing Condor before now.
All right, that's
I remember hearing it once, but I can't remember.
fine.
Probably when we were talking about who all the leaders are.
Maybe. I know there was Jortam, but we already. He was the one we spoke to when we set up our meeting with
Correct.
Torben. I don't think we had a run-in with any other priests, though.
Well, I said of the clerical variety. I'm not necessarily saying, she's a priest. She's just a worshiper of a particular god. Deanoch would know.
That's usually what clerical means.
Right, but I'm not saying like she's a priest. She just worships. She's a follower of a faith. Deanoch would know that she is a follower of. Sorry, I gotta pull up his deities.
Palatina, probably.
Yeah, Palatina.
Okay.
Which
Is
is
it possible?
life, basically.
Light and life.
Yeah, light and life.
That's... Maybe
So
we heard that name when I visited the Temple of Palatina.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, if you guys don't know, if it's not written down, you don't remember, you don't remember. That's fine. You
You know
guys-
what? I'm gonna call this keen mind bullshit.
Oh!
Oh.
So, here's the thing. I don't remember 100% if you were told or not.
I don't think we were.
But because of the information you guys have gathered so far, I do believe that you have been given this information. Because I am almost positive that you guys have narrowed it down to in terms of the 5, I believe it's the 5. 5 districts. Of the 5 districts, the Dragon Champions, Heaven, Future, and Lich Ward, you have discovered that the Dragon and the Champions Ward are are compromised due to being turned vampiric. The future ward was nearly compromised, but you guys managed to save Enran. So there's that. Korzar, the Lich Ward director, basically, doesn't give a shit, one way or the other. And the Heavens Ward family, the head honcho, is believed to be sick or something, as she has not been present in some of the council meetings recently. I believe that is the information that you guys have been given.
Yeah, that does sound right.
I think that's all the information that I gave you. I mean, obviously, I don't know.
You had mentioned that she was unavailable for some reason.
Right, and I don't remember what exactly that reason is, but I do believe that the main message that has been bestowed from that is probably not a good person to go to look, to try to solve problems against Torben and whatnot. Also, you guys are planning on meeting with Torben in the evening, kind of near sunset.
Yep.
So, fixing the weather dome problem is not going to give you an edge on Torben. Unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Do you guys have
Unless we can stall the fight out till morning.
Good luck.
And then just, hold his face in direct sunlight and be like, "Burn, you son of a bitch!"
Right? Well, if there is nothing else, you guys have anything last minute things?
Actually, question.
Yeah.
We still have that boon of knowledge, don't we?
You do.
Yep. It's in my bag.
Is there anything we could ask it before we go that might give us an edge over Torben?
How do we kill Torben?
How do we beat Torben?
Permanently.
Yeah, permanently.
Oh. Denock pulls out. Let's find out. He focuses on the pearl, and he says, "How do we permanently defeat Torben?"
The all drinker.
Um,
Quickly specify which one we're talking about.
Fair.
Okay. So, as you go, you begin to ask the question. There's a moment where you guys wait, and Denock, in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
you realize that there's not a current charge on the item.
Damn it!
Yeah,
It has to be charged?
It has a 7-day wait period in between uses of the charge. It has a singular charge that you can use once every 7 days.
Can I tell how long the charge?
Whoa.
Yeah.
So that means it was recently used when we found it.
You don't know.
Well, within the last week.
Potentially, yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Can I look at it and tell?
Mm-hmm. There.
Probably Arcana check.
Actually, because you've used it, I will give it to you because that's kind of what it requires it, and you've identified it. There's 2 days left on the recharge.
Shit.
I rolled for it, unfortunately. Sorry. I basically rolled a d8, and on 1 to 7 was the days it had on a charge left. 8 on an 8, it was available now, and I rolled a 2. So, 2 days.
Okay, now that is just dangling that carrot right in front of us and just yanking it right out.
I know. I love it when the dice play in my favor. Anyway,
So that maybe the first question we ask it then, when we're finally available to do so, is who used this pearl before us?
Fine, then.
Maybe we can find and kill them?
I mean, if we do that, then we lose another week of questions.
I think that would be a waste of a question.
All right.
Maybe.
I'm
or maybe
I'm
not.
going to guess it was that aboleth. Maybe that's why he went insane. Just knowledge he gained.
Maybe you just asked to know everything.
Oof.
Anything you guys wish to do before jumping to this meeting? We won't get much into it, obviously, but there is just a little bit that I want to.
Leave us on.
Yes.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Give us the Cliffy.
Onward.
Let us get to the meeting.
So, we will jump over to the meeting. You guys find yourselves down here, and you guys can go to the room however you wish. I don't know which way you guys.
Also,
Through the walls.
yeah, right. By the way, I want to use 2 4th-level castings of my animate dead.
That gives you how many? Is that enough?
My. Well, 1 casting is the special casting.
Oh. What do you want?
Bring up our old friend the Minotaur.
Why? So you cannot hit anything?
Can he fit through the doors here?
Look, if Jor Tom can fit through these doors, Minotaur can.
Okay.
It'll be fine. Do I have a Minotaur token? I can't remember if I made one or not.
I think you did.
Oh, Big Skelly.
I'm pretty sure.
There he is.
Yeah.
Womp. So, take as many skeletons as you need with you. I'm going to just kind of say that they're here at the door for the time being. You can move them elsewhere, but take the skeletons with you that you would use.
Yeah. I think it's 4 for...
Then I will...
Right? 4 for a 4th level?
Let's see. You get 2 at 3rd level and 2 more at 4th level. We'll hide those.
Because we specifically did the thing with...
Yep. So,
I always have to relook at that. Because it's like...
I understand. I do too at times because it's confusing. But it makes sense at this. So as you guys arrive and enter into the rooms here, I'm gonna have everybody first off just make a group perception check for me.
Oops, wrong button.
Yeah, I'm.
Look at that
Why
too.
Why did that not go?
You rolled a 22, Valnar.
Oh. Doesn't show. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Persuasion.
Didn't mean to hit that first one.
No, you're
My
good.
bad.
You're good. So we have.
Unless I'm trying to persuade the meeting.
You have a 20 from Cardin, a 22 from Valinar, 2 from Katya, a 7 from Dinok, and a 15 from Ostap. So, you guys don't notice anything out of the ordinary, and you guys arrive in this room where Torben is sitting and waiting for you. And he gestures to the seats around you and goes, "Please, sit. Let's have a talk."
Already am.
So you guys can arrange yourselves how you would like to be and place yourselves where you would like to sit if you would like to.
Hey, Cardin, can I sit there? Sit on the table.
You're welcome to. That's a power move in my opinion.
Depends on how you get up on
Cardin
the table.
stands
Oh, God.
on the table.
You're welcome to. I will not stop you.
Actually,
Can I
he'll take
control
the
the
seat
Minotaur?
right. Oh, come on, Valinor, damn it.
Musical chairs over here, huh?
Can I have...
Whoa! Hello, Torb.
Do you not-
Garden.
No, I don't have control. There we go, thank you.
Actually, Carter will stand menacingly in the corner.
Torben
in the
goes,
corner
"Is that
behind
really...
him."
Okay, whatever.
Not really.
But that's your,
Sorry.
Are you gonna leave them in the hallway?
what you said out in the chat.
I'll have 2 in here and 2 in the hallway.
Okay. All right, you got okay. That is fine by me.
Before we enter, I do give them the order to alert us if someone is coming down either of these hallways.
Okay, what are their passive perceptions?
Pretty much shit, I think. 9 for the normal skellies. And hold on, pulling up.
Probably the
9
same.
for the big guy.
Okay, all right, good to know.
Like I said, it's not much, but hey, it's...
Yeah, I understand. Just making it aware. So, you guys, after situating yourselves, Torben kind of folds his hands. Hearing an echo. Hold on, what was that from? That was weird. So, Torben kind of folds his hands, leans forward, puts his chin on his hands, and he kind of goes,
Gendo style.
yeah. He kind of just goes, so, let's get straight down to business, shall we?
That's not ominous at all.
I want you, all of you, I want you to leave Off King and not to return. Before you guys have an opportunity to reply, that is where I want to end the session for tonight.
Pretty decent cliffhanger, I'll give it that.
Yeah.
I could have sworn you were gonna say, and with that, you guys see trees.
We're looking at like a different island or something.
Holy shit,
Oh.
hey. That's where the...
Wow.
Carden, you're coming through twice.
Carton cloned himself.
Oops! I meant to put mute after I spoke last. That's me. My bad.
Ah. That's alright. Well,
He wants us to leave Hofking? Yeah, okay. He called us here to say that?
that's
We'll
what
find out
next-
more next week.
That is where,
And that's the whole meeting.
I
I
was
want you
looking to
off my
say,
island.
why?
Get the fuck out.
Why? Why?
hey, look, there are. I have a lot of moving parts, and I'm excited. So, that is where you guys will be left for this week. And we'll pick it up there next week, I think.
Sounds good.
Thank you guys for coming and joining us on stream today. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I know I'm having a lot of fun. I know these guys are as well. We'll be back next week. Hopefully. What is next
Hopefully.
week? Yeah, we should be good for next week.
27.
Yeah, the 27th. We should be good for next week. I don't think anyone has plans or anything. But if something does come up, you can find announcements about things like that on both our Discord and on my Twitter, where I post about D&D stuff, about streams, scheduling, things like that. And I also tweet there on when our podcasts go up. I put up podcasts. I do 3 a week right now trying to catch up with where we currently are in the stream. Yes, it is going to take us some time to catch back up, but doing 3 a week will obviously help me catch up faster. Just look up your favorite podcasting platform and see if we're on there, guys. I mean, we might be there. So check it out there.
Currently we've confirmed what? Spotify.
Spotify, Podbean,
iTunes.
yep, Apple Podcasts, I'm working on a couple of other things, but it just takes time on some of those. So yeah, like I said, check out your favorite one, and hopefully we're there. And if not, you can always find all of these lovely videos over on the Big Ripper YouTube channel, including our past games and other games that we've played that we haven't played in a while because we've been stupid busy and really have limited ourselves to this one game.
I swear, eventually we will finish our Borderlands 3 series. Eventually, but
Yeah, that's gonna...
when is the question?
That is a great question there, Romulus. That is definitely the question. None of us have this.
Truth.
Alright. That means we're done for the night. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next week. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Night, y'all.
Or in a few
Hello.
minutes if you're watching the stream, if you're watching the podcast.
Listening to the podcast.
Boo.
You know what I
Oh,
mean.
wow.